Hi Spirit fam, welcome to the channel. Today I have a March energy for 2024, what you can look forward to this month. Hi Spirit fam, I'm so excited to be here with you today, and I wanted to sort of introduce you to my new Oracle deck. It is called the Essence of Divinity Oracle deck. Now I want you to know that I have been working on this deck for over a year. It has taken me that long to be able to truly listen to the internal guidance that I was receiving from my spirit team and to make sure that I made this oracle deck in pure light with my spirit team to give you divine connection to your higher self and to higher forms of consciousness. Now, what I want to share with you in this deck is that each of the cards in this deck is designed specifically to give you the most truest message that you could possibly imagine. I also designed this deck with you in mind. When I first started reading oracle cards, it was a little daunting for me to be able to trust my intuition right off the bat. And so when I created these cards, I wanted to make sure that I was going to not only give you the answers that your spiritual intuition really wanted you to know, but to also provide you with a clear understanding of the message that was coming through so that you are aware of what the messages were and that there was no question, that you would not be left with any doubt on what the message was that you were actually getting from your spirit team and from your guides. So I am really excited about this deck. I am so excited that it is finally here. You will notice in all of my videos, I will be using this deck every single time because it is my own, and I truly feel that its messages have been on point. Today's video is no less. So I am so excited. So let's take a little journey into the Essence of Divinity Oracle deck.
The Essence of Divinity Oracle deck is a sacred collection of 48 cards meticulously crafted to facilitate a deep connection with your intuition and spiritual guides. Each card is a portal to the realm of the divine, offering profound insights and empowering messages to support your spiritual journey. This enchanting oracle deck serves as a beacon of light, illuminating the path towards self-discovery and higher consciousness. Embrace the transformative power of the Essence of Divinity Oracle deck and unlock the secrets of your soul. Allow its nurturing energy to envelop you in a cocoon of love and support, empowering you to trust in your intuition and embrace the divine guidance that flows through you as you align with your true essence and your divinity.
If you are coming back to the channel, welcome back. We are so excited and grateful to have you here. If you are new to the channel, welcome to Eileen Into Spirit. My name is Eileen. I want to remind everyone that this is going to be a general reading. So that means that it's not going to resonate with every single person out in the collective. So I ask that you take with you what resonates and leave the rest behind. So without further ado, Spirit fam, let's go ahead and dive right into your March energy. Pick a card. Okay, Spirit fam, let's go ahead and dive into the 3 piles that you get to choose from for this month's message. So starting off with pile number 1, we are going to have this beautiful crystal mandala of the goddess Sekhmet with fire agate, and its message is Passion of the Lion Heart. So this is going to be pile 1. Now, I want you to go ahead and just allow your intuition to guide you to the pile that you are being drawn to. So pile number 2 is going to be this beautiful astrophyllite crystal mandala. This is going to be the goddess Ishtar and your message of daring rebirth. This is going to be pile 2. And if you are drawn to this beautiful labradite mandala, this is going to be pile number 3. This is going to be the angel Achiel with labradite, and it's a message of individuality. This is going to be pile 3. So Spirit Fam, as you tune into your inner guidance system, as you tune into your intuition, allow your intuition to guide you towards the pile that is offering you the most insightful and enlightened message that you need to hear at this time for your March message. So without further ado, Spirit Fam, let's go ahead and dive right into your March message. Hi, pile 1. You have chosen this beautiful fire agate with passion of the lion heart. Now, as I mentioned earlier, this is a crystal mandala, and yours is the fire agate. Now, I am going to read you what it says in the book because I feel this is going to give you the most in-depth, detailed, enlightened message to start off your March message. So your message of Passion of the Lion Heart says, "We bring you the empowerment of Passion of the Lion Heart. Through passion, you will dedicate yourself with an intensity and discipline that may surprise you. Passion is love activated. It is energy that moves you from within and empowers you to act in the world in ways you would not otherwise dare to even consider. Passion gives you strength, plugs you into the eternal energy of sacred fire, and generates the ability to accomplish tasks you once may not have believed possible. With great passion, there can be great pain. The heart that loves wild and open is also the heart that can feel disappointment and doubt most keenly. The empowerment of the lion heart strengthens your heart to recover from any pain through the power of courage, commitment, and bold, loving devotion to what matters most to you." I find this very interesting, pile 1, because what we are beginning with this month is that you are needing to align yourself to the things that you feel matter the most to you, the things that make you feel whole, that make you feel complete, that give you that sense of drive, motivation, inspiration, and passion to move forward. There are those that will be led through life by the cool light of their inner knowing, and those that will be led by their heart, by their dreams and their aspirations. And you are that one, pile 1. You are the one that is to be led by the things that you are the most passionate by. You are being asked to lead a life of wholehearted living, to live your passions, to focus on your dreams and push towards them. Those led by their heart need passionate purpose, a sense of meaningful motivation, desire to gain energy and accomplish great things. There is tremendous divine potential because those individuals are less limited by the constraints of the mind. And this is beautiful as we start off for you here, pile 1, because what this is ultimately saying is that you are to live by the heart. You are to be taking action towards the things that you desire, that you ultimately feel passionate about, that give you so much joy and insight and inspiration. And I feel that the more that you do this, the more that you can bring yourself towards doing those things, you will ultimately be able to live the life fully and passionately. And it's really about being courageous. It's about being brave. It's about understanding that sometimes we have to lead by example. And I feel, Pile One, that you are one that needs to lead by example. I feel that, having this, fire agate in your sights this month, and this might be some stone that you carry with you this month, fire agate, to remind you of the importance of living of the heart, living passionately, doing things that ultimately you would not do otherwise. So this means taking a risk. This means stepping outside of your comfort zone. It means that maybe this is when you do something different that you've never done before. And I feel that this is important, okay? In the book for this particular mandala, it says, this oracle also brings you comfort if you feel that you are lacking in courage, passion, or emotional motivation, and perhaps suffering not only from fatigue, but apathy, depression, or despair too. You are going to overcome anything and everything that stands in the way of your loving heart, burning bright with sacred fire. I feel this is important for you to remember here, Pile One, because most of the times when we come across things that tend to deflate us or that often make us feel defeated, we often stumble. We take a step back. We allow our own mind to take over, and it prevents us from doing the things that we love, that we ultimately feel so alive when we are actually doing them. So let's move a little bit more forward here. So next we have a change in the wind and the fates. I absolutely love this here, Pile One. A change in the wind is exactly what it says. There is change that is needing to occur here. And it's important to recognize that when change occurs, we have to face it bravely, courageously. We have to find the harmony in the flow as things sort of change and transform in different ways and in different avenues. And I feel that with this, it's important for you here. The one thing you need to know about a change in the wind here, Pile One, is that it truly is, its true meaning is that there are a lot of unseen changes that will occur in your life that were being initiated or that are going to be initiated. And it's important that we give you this message now because this is sort of preparing you for what is to come. Now, you could be someone, Pile One, who has already gone through massive change, and you are already well aware of all of the massive changes that have occurred. But then there are also those of you that have yet to go through this massive transformation. And it's now time for you to prepare for what is up ahead. It's about being aware that your plans are not on firm, solid ground. So don't, really beat yourself up. Don't expect things to go the way that you anticipated them to go. Remember, it's about going with the flow. It's about, understanding that there is a shift happening. And it's about understanding that uncertainty will often creep up into your vessel because you will feel as if you are lacking direction. And in that aspect, sometimes that makes you feel very unstable. It makes you feel not so grounded, okay? It's important to note that it is human nature to yearn for a sense of certainty, and it is within our capacity as humans to resist change when it occurs or when it shows up. We want the world to remain consistent. We want our everyday to be as solid and as stable and as firm as ever. That is just what we anticipate. It is what we expect. Yet nothing in human experience is black and white, nor will anything remain static. The one thing that is guaranteed in our everyday life, in the experiences that we encounter, is change. Change is inevitable, and it will happen and occur. And it is up to us to understand that when that change comes in, when that change shows up in our life, we are to remain calm. We are to allow it to be what it is and understand that there are greater forces at play here. It means that, some things are meant to occur, such as fate, such as karma. So this then transitions us over to the Fates card, right? And the Fates card is ultimately that. It's fate, it's karma, it's acceptance that there are things that you cannot change and knowing what those things are. It's about being prepared for the unexpected. There's this phrase that often gets said, expect the unexpected. And pile one, this is what your team is needing you to know this month. Expect the unexpected this month. But remember that you have the guidance of passion of the lion heart, which means that you need to focus on the things that you are passionate about, that you find great joy and inspiration and motivation in. And that is where you need to focus your energy this month. Not on the things that aren't happening the way that you want. Not on the change, not on the blockages, nothing like that. It's focusing on the things that motivate you, that inspire you, that help you be more prepared for everything else that is to come. Next we have, look at this, Apache Tears. Now, this is a crystal spirit card, and I absolutely love this because the Apache Tears, what this message is ultimately telling you is it's wanting you to be aware that you have to let go. You have to let go of any grief, any disappointment, any sorrow that you are holding on to. This is about recovering from the past. It's about releasing pain so that wounds can heal. Now, remember earlier we said with the passion of the lion heart, we talked a little bit about how sometimes when we are faced with lots of pain or lots of disappointment, the passion of the lion heart isn't going to prevent us from experiencing the pain. We need the pain. The pain is what reminds us of our passions. It reminds us of what keeps us alive. It reminds us of how we are brave and what we learn and how we can push forward. With the Apache Tears here, it's about understanding that our souls agreed to the experiences of both love and loss. We cannot have one without the other, pile one. And I feel that sometimes when we get so caught up in our experiences and we get so caught up in trying to elevate and level up, that we often feel that we should be immune to the loss and to the disappointment and the sadness that occurs in our everyday experiences. And that was never agreed upon. When you came to this planet, you understood, you agreed to a contract, a soul contract that reminded you that you would experience both happiness, joy, sadness, and sorrow. You need all of those things to truly understand the meaning, the purpose, the intention as you grow. It's understanding that when you have pleasures, you will also have pain. And I feel that we have to experience these in order to gain a sense of purpose, to gain and understand a sense of fulfillment. And it's important for us to experience all of those things so that we can truly find our destiny, to align ourselves with our fate. I feel that is the important thing here. The Apache Tears is a wonderful, beautiful stone that you can carry with you this month. And it's important to, anytime that you come across the sorrow, the disappointment, the pain, or the discomfort that you feel in your experiences, meditate with the Apache tears. And it truly means that. The tears that are inundated into the stone, that you then release out of your vessel so that you could then find the harmony in your everyday experience. And I love this because without it, we wouldn't be able to truly understand what we are experiencing here. So next we are going to move right on in here to the tarot. So we are starting out with the Two of Cups, the Queen of Cups in reversed, the heart of your reading here with the King of Swords, the Queen of Wands, and the Two of Swords. So we are going to focus on the heart of your reading here, pile 1, which is the King of Swords. The King of Swords is a king of the mind. It's the king that charges towards his inspirations, his ideas. And I feel that this month, pile 1, this is what you are needing to embody. You are needing to embody all of the ideas, inspirations that you hold dear, and you need to shine a light on them with this Queen of Wands. The Queen of Wands is a very confident, fiery, passionate energy that showcases, that often shines a light, gives people hope and inspiration in moments of doubt and uncertainty here with the Two of Swords. Now, I want you to understand here that the way that you feel emotionally, when you can partner with your emotions, even the ones that make you feel as if you are not connected, even those that make you feel disappointed or unsatisfied, you have to remind yourself here, you have to charge towards your passions, your desires, the things that you ultimately love, right? Remember, we talked about focusing on the joys, because that is ultimately what is going to lead you towards your destiny. And I know here, pile 1, that you might be unclear. You might have no idea where you're going, which direction you're meant to take in every choice and decision that comes up. But again, when you can understand that it takes a team, a partnership here in recognizing that your emotions and your ideas have to sort of meld together to form and unite a whole. And I feel this is where sometimes we get really confused when we are trying to elevate and expand our own awareness and consciousness. We often feel as if we have to let go of our emotions in order to truly be in that essence of who we are. And that's not the case. We have to join those forces together. You have to be able to recognize that there is duality in everything. There is always going to, remember, there is no black and white in our experiences and what we encounter in our everyday life. It is up to us to truly dig a little bit deeper and see the hidden message in those experiences to truly gain the insight and the wisdom that we need to move forward, and then shine our light and our attention and our energy on those things that make us feel exhilarated and help us charge forward when we feel stuck or when we feel unsure of where we are going. And when we can do that, I feel that ultimately brings us forward towards a better sense of experience and flow. Next, we have the ruby star with flow. And it says, I embody my authentic and sensual essence. This is beautiful. Because again, here we had emotions here with the cups. And remember, I talked about being in a state of flow, when change occurs, when uncertainty strikes, when our ground starts to get unstable and unsturdy. It is important for us to go with the flow, to remember that we cannot resist what is occurring. We have to learn to accept it, and we have to embody that and understand that we are beings who experience the wave of so many different emotions that come through. And it's important for us to acknowledge that, to recognize that, to embody that. Next, you have the Jade Star with surrender, and its message is, I am ready to let go with self-compassion. This is important because what it's saying here is that when you have things that come up that are unexpected, all we can do is surrender and allow ourselves to just naturally go with the flow of how things are moving. And I feel that surrendering is really about releasing our expectations, releasing our sense of control in a way that allows us to accept what is transpiring, what is occurring, what is happening. And I feel that when we can do that, when we can truly surrender, what happens? We get rebirth here. We can then let go of the old and allow the new to come in and sort of transform things in a more loving, compassionate way. Rebirth is all about the old dying away, being born from the ashes. And then we have the past, right? So I feel the important message right here for you, Pile One, is that whatever transpired in the past, you must leave in the past. The past is in the past. Stop reliving the past. Stop wishing that things would go back to the way that they were, because they are not. Change comes in because that means that you are ready for what is coming. You are now about to embark on a new journey of self-exploration that is going to rebirth you into who you are, because who you were is no longer compatible with where you are going. It's not in alignment with your desires and your passions and the things that ultimately bring you great joy. And now we are moving on to 3 cards from my own personal deck, The Essence of Divinity. And I have to tell you, this deck is really holds a very special place in my heart. And if you are interested in this deck, remember that you can go down in the description box and get your own personal copy. So next we have healing. And this is beautiful because it says, divine healing is rightfully yours. Give yourself permission to receive it. I feel that it's important that when change comes in and transformation starts to unfold, what's happening is healing. You are healing from the past. You are being reborn. The old you that has died, you are being reborn from the ashes. And that is what divine healing truly is. It is healing and you allowing that to take form, to cultivate itself and to transition itself into your essence. Next, we have higher calling. So what does this mean? It says, align to your purpose and answer the call of your soul. So understand that when transformation starts to occur, when the change in the wind starts to occur, it is occurring because there is a higher purpose. There is a higher calling that is reaching out to you, that is wanting you to answer that call by not resisting what is happening and allowing the transformation to take place. Next, we have spiritual practice, which is about creating a spiritual practice to align yourself with your divinity. So this truly ultimately means here, Pile One, that A lot of times when change comes into play in our lives, we often tend to get into hermit mode and we go into a reclusive state and we stop doing the things that we love. And the spiritual practice here is about you aligning to that higher aspect. It's about you aligning to that higher you that is connected to divine source energy, that sort of aligns with the higher calling that is reaching out to you, that is asking you to answer the call of your soul. The passion of the lion heart is literally that, answering the call of your soul and doing what makes you feel alive, purposeful, and intentional. Next, we have never alone. And I love this because it says, my bond with God and the angels is a flame that illuminates my heart, regardless of the darkness around me. This bond is the foundation of my inner strength. It allows me to go on, having faith that all things will fall into divine order for my greatest benefit. I ask the universe for guidance, knowing I will always receive its help and protection. Today, the sun will rise and shine for me, and I am never alone. I love this for you here, Pile 1, because what it's wanting to remind you is that as this change occurs, as the change in the wind comes in, we often feel as if life is happening to you. But the thing is that you have the resources, you have the guidance around you that is ultimately calling you and reminding you that, hey, we're here. You're not alone. We're here to guide you and to provide you with all of the answers that you need. All you need to do is ask for us and we shall be there. And I think sometimes we miss that message. We ultimately really do miss that message. Your activation code today is Lemurian Seed Codes, which says, this is about embracing your sensitivity. It's about understanding your uniqueness, and it's about living with grace. So here is what it says in the book. Lemuria was a civilization that was in the middle of the Pacific Ocean in ancient times. The inhabitants of this sacred land lived in complete harmony with nature and had a connection with every living being, similar to the movie Avatar. Their inner vision was fully activated to the point where it is thought that their pineal gland was fully developed and they could see for hundreds of miles in every direction in a similar way to the sonar of dolphins and whales. The majority operated from their heart space, honoring one another and nature, so much so that when their civilization came to an end through a cataclysmic event, most of them ascended. It is said that these highly attuned beings knew that their civilization would end and decided to send healing waves into another part of the world for future civilizations to benefit from. They telepathically channeled their frequencies into a thought form that would become crystals that would be found thousands, possibly millions of years later. These Lemurian seeds are a type of quartz crystal mostly found in Brazil and Colombia. They are powerful crystals with citrations similar to barcodes engraved on their faces. They have a feminine, receptive energy that is said to help us step into a more feminine way of being in order to help the evolution of the species. Pile 1. This is your message for this month. I want you to understand that you are meant to follow your heart, to follow your passions, to be an embodiment of what you love. Thank you so much for being here today, and I look forward to seeing you next time with your new message. Bye, guys. Hi, PileTwo. You have chosen this beautiful astrophyllite crystal mandala with the goddess Ishtar and the message of daring rebirth. Now, as we get started for your month, your March energy reading here, I'm going to read you what it says in the book for Daring Rebirth. As we begin for your March energy, we bring you the empowerment of daring rebirth. The bold spirit in you claims the divine defiance of the phoenix. It refuses defeat at every turn. No matter who or what may seek to overpower your spirit, your place, your loving heart, and your wild optimism, you shall triumph in a divine and daring rebirth. Do not limit yourself with expectations, whether from another or your own mind. There is so much possible for you, a radically different and new you to become. Believe, and it shall be. It takes daring to imagine a new life here, PileTwo. And I feel that you are transitioning here into a new life, a new you, a new beginning, something that is very transformative. It is about the boldness of spirit and the willingness that is needed to allow yourself to embrace and live that different life. You can be in this world as you choose to be. The truth of you can have many different versions, some fearful and some free. There is so much that is possible for you to experience in this life. You have the light and the power of a living sun inside of you. Rebirth is a new life. It means that it's an entirely different life. It is a different you. It is a you that is truthful, that is authentic, and that is more vibrant, radiant, and vivid and free. It is possible for you to have all of this. I feel that it's important for you to recognize this. And I feel that some of you here, PileTwo, are barely on the beginning stages of this entire rebirth. And it might feel like this is just a little bit too much for you right now, but I want you to listen to this message because it's important for you to know that the requirement for rebirth is an experience of a shamanic death. Now, in the book, it says that this is not a physical death. It is a spiritual transformation. It requires that whatever is keeping you from living a happier, a more free, a beautiful, a joyful, and a soul-satisfying life must be sacrificed. It must be allowed to die, so to speak, so that you can be born anew. So what does this mean for you, PileTwo? This means that all of the things that are sort of holding you back into old cycles, old patterns, old ways of being are things that you need to surrender, that you need to release and let go, because they're not helping you in any way. They're not aligning you to that you that is needing you to cross that threshold of being willing to forego a life that you had in order to have the life that you desire. I feel this is important for you here. To the extent you have believed yourself to be those things, you felt so attached to those things, or that identity was so wrapped up in them that a part of you feels like you're dying. A part of you feels that there is a part of you that is dying along with all of the things that are being shed, that are being let go, that are slowly falling. And you must understand that you are changed through that process. So let me explain just a little bit more here, PileTwo, what this rebirth, this daring rebirth actually means. It means that when you go through a dark night of the soul, it means that a part of you, the old aspect of you, your old beliefs, your old thought patterns, all of that dies away. And a new you takes its place. New beliefs, new thought patterns form. And it requires courage. It requires bravery in order to do this. This means that sometimes you might have to face some of the most scariest things You might have to step outside your comfort zone and do something that you have never done before or that you are not familiar with at all. And you must do them because you are embarking on an entire new existence here that is going to elevate you to new heights, to new levels. So what does this mean? So moving on, we have mending here and soulmates. Okay, this is very interesting because I feel that, when it comes to mending, it often refers to forgiveness, right? There are all kinds of experiences, all kinds of relationships that we have with certain specific individuals. And a lot of times things don't usually go well, right? Mending is all about forgiveness. It's about making amends. It's about healing and allowing yourself to move on, to move forward. And I feel a lot of times that can be very difficult for us, right? Because an old pattern here for you might be that you constantly relive those arguments. You constantly allow yourself to be hurt, and you allow that hurt to continue to pass through you without truly understanding and integrating what is truly transpiring and what the true intention or purpose of that specific situation or circumstance was here. And I want you to understand that, when it comes to soulmates, right? Because I feel this has to do with relationships for you here, PileTwo, and this could be that maybe what you're needing to do, maybe what you are going through right now is you are going through an entire rebirth when it comes to your relationships. And that means that all of the relationships that you've had in the past are now needing to die. They're needing to go away because they're no longer serving you, right? There's a part of you that is desiring something more. You're wanting something else, something more fulfilling, something that makes you feel desirable or wanted or loved or accepted. The soulmates is all about the harmony that we put into partnerships, into relationships, and into lovers, friendship, companionship. But the greatest thing about soulmates is about our own personal growth in the depth and understanding of those relationships. It's important that you understand that any partnership, any friendship, any companionship, relationship that you encounter or that you have, it is meant to help you evolve and transform with compassion for others. This also includes those individuals that harm you, that hurt you, that neglect you, that abandon you. It means that you have to grow through those relationships, which means that you have to experience those relationships, even the most painful ones, because you're meant to evolve. You're meant to see them through compassion. You're meant to understand with love. Now, remember, PileTwo, that certain people enter your life in an order, in a specific way, at a specific time, in order for you to take you to the next level of your healing or your state of consciousness and authenticity. It's helping you understand yourself a little bit better. It's helping you elevate to that higher aspect of yourself. I think it's important that you understand that when it comes to soulmates, when it comes to relationships, it's all about reciprocal energy, right? It's all about the energy that you give is the energy that you receive. And I feel that in this particular aspect here for you, PileTwo, it could be that the relationships that you have had have not been reciprocal in any way. It could be that you were the giver in all of these relationships, and you were never once on the receiving end of something kind or something loving or something compassionate. And maybe this is the reason why all of these relationships are now being stripped away from you. And I want to point that out because I do feel that your relationships are being stripped away from you here, pile two. I feel that each relationship that you thought was a long-lasting relationship or a friendship, that you felt they truly and authentically cared for you and loved you and honored you and respected you, and you're now starting to see that that is not the case. And now you're starting to question and wonder why. And you're starting to hold resentment, and you're starting to bring in sorrow because you're reliving those moments all over again. And it's like you're beating yourself up in this endless cycle. This, my dear, this, my friends, pile two, is what you are needing to let go. This is what you're needing to rebirth. You're needing to rebirth relationships that are more in alignment and that are reciprocal in the energy that you give so that you can receive the same energy that you deserve. Moving on, we have the beautiful stone amethyst here. And I love this because amethyst is one of those stones that is of the crown chakra. And it is a high frequency stone that truly reminds us, right, to be in alignment how spirit truly brings forward these messages. Amethyst is about you understanding the things that are familiar in your life. What are the similarities when it comes to the relationships in your life here, pile two? What unconscious habits and old patterns are you currently experiencing or that you constantly go to when it comes to relationships that you know are not healthy, that you know you need to release? I feel that maybe when it comes to your relationships, you go into automatic pilot. And that sort of takes you to a place where you know is not healthy for you. And you know that you're needing to sort of turn off that autopilot so that you could truly allow yourself the rest that you need so that you could truly see things clearly. In the book for amethyst, it says, while this reaction can serve us well, and what it's speaking about is this need to automatically go into autopilot, right? Like we automatically go into a certain way of when we are reliving an old relationship or when we get into a relationship that we know is not healthy for us, right? So it's saying, while this reaction can serve us well, amethyst spirit brings a reminder to stop surrendering to the familiar. Be mindfully present to the now and examine your habits. This is huge, pile two. Let me read this again. The amethyst spirit brings a reminder to stop surrendering to the familiar, to be mindfully present to the now and examine your habits. Are they working for you in a way that you want them to? Are you overdue for a new routine? Perhaps a small, simple shift that can make a huge difference. What could you say more often to those you love or do more often to nurture yourself when your go-to is to sacrifice for others? It's very interesting that this came up because one of the things I kept hearing when I was delivering a very powerful message for you here, pile two, was codependency in relationships. And this is very common right now where we are all starting to see our codependency habits that we often have because we are so afraid of being alone and we never want to feel like we are alone. And so we oftentimes sacrifice ourselves, our desires, our needs, and our wants. We sacrifice our happiness because we would rather be miserable for a moment to not feel the uncomfortableness that comes with the sense of being alone. And I think this is huge. You know, amethyst right here is the number 4, which is about building solid foundations, and it's about our sense of security. And pile 2, if this means that you're needing to embark on a new sense of security, you're needing to really start over, you're having to build an entirely new foundation when it comes to relationships. Because my friends, the relationships that you have in your life are not ones you want to build upon. You would never want to build on a faulty foundation in a relationship because it isn't going to get you anywhere. It isn't going to make you happy or satisfy you in any way. If anything, it will continue to crumble and it will continue to fall. So this means that you have to start over. This brings us back to the message of daring rebirth. This means a new life in relationships that is more abundant, fulfilling, compassionate, and prosperous and thriving. Let's move on to the tarot here. We have the 3 of Pentacles, the Devil in reverse. Okay, this tells me right here that we are in codependent relationships, that we are trying to work on changing our bad habits, but we don't have enough confidence in ourselves here, pile 2, to change those things that we constantly try to work on. And I feel like you tried to constantly rebuild those relationships when you know that they are fake, when you know that they are not loving in any way. They are restricting you. And this is why the heart of your reading here is the Queen of Swords. Because what it's saying is that you need to step away from the emotions on how you feel about these relationships and start aligning yourself with your intellect. You know in your mind, like you know that the right thing for you to do is to cut off, to break off all forms of communication with these relationships that are ultimately keeping you stuck. I'm going to tell you right now that the relationships that you are holding on to, that you know are not giving to you in any way, they are not reciprocal in any way here, pile 2. These relationships are they're hand feeding you small bits that is keeping you continuously working on it. But it isn't authentic. It isn't true. It isn't genuine. It's just manipulation. They're manipulating you to think that they are going to be all that and more, and they're not. So how do we move forward? When we cut off those relationships, how do we move forward? We have the King of Pentacles, and you were the one deck that got one extra additional, actually you got 2 additional cards. So I'm going to hold on to those 2 because I feel that there's another message in there for you. But here, how do we move forward? We take what we've learned from those relationships and we utilize that knowledge, and we are better able to recognize the red flags, to recognize the signs of when we have manipulative relationships that try to come in and take over, right? And I feel that when you actually start working on yourself here, when you actually start owning your actions, when you start really taking back what you are giving to those relationships, you will be so much happier here with the 9 of Cups. I feel that you will feel like a brand new person. You will feel more loved. You will feel more supported. You will feel as if you are free. You are no longer bound by this sense of not enough. And I cannot stress this enough for you here, pile 2. Now, the other 2 additional cards that you got were the Empress with the Lover's card. And I love this because what this is saying is that you have the capacity here. You are the embodiment of love, of pure unconditional love. The Empress here is about creation. It's about nurture. And I feel that you're needing to really nurture yourself and honor yourself and love yourself enough to say, I deserve better. And I feel that when you can really create that within yourself and you allow yourself to be reborn when it comes to your relationships, the right relationships will automatically walk in. And I feel they will start flooding to you in a way that you will have the pick of the litter. And you will be able to pick and choose which relationships you want to cultivate in your life here, PileTwo. This is important. So next we have the Lost Star with rebirth. Look, you're getting it again, rebirth. Out of the darkness and into the light. This is important because this is literally telling you, and it falls right here by the Empress. I absolutely love this. What this is truly saying is that these relationships that are walking away, that are being stripped from you, let them. Just let them. Because what it's doing is it's removing that darkness from you. It's removing all of the negative, all of those bad, yucky feelings that you have with those relationships. And it's pushing you more towards true love, true friendship. Next, we have the Amazon Queen with battle. And it says, I am a devoted warrior of the universe. What is this saying? This is saying that you're going to have to go through, you're going to have to really fight for what you want here, PileTwo, especially when it comes to relationships. You're going to have to fight for what you want. And you're going to need to understand that when you are devoted to you and you know your worth, you are then able to charge tax, baby. It's that simple. And I love this. So here we have the unknown. And I feel that this can feel very daunting, very uncertain for you because you don't know what's going to happen. And that's okay. It's okay to feel that way. That's part of being reborn because everything that you have ever known is being stripped away from you. You're meant to feel uncertain. But when that happens, look, you get presence. When all of that is stripped away from you and you get to be reborn, you are now standing at the threshold of certainty, of things that are thriving and nourishable, lovable, compassionate, and nurturing. And all you need to do is walk through that door to feel truly connected to your essence and to your divinity. And that moves me on to my own personal deck, the Essence of Divinity. Your cards were Fate and Destiny. What this means is that you have to surrender to your fate and allow your destiny to be revealed to you. And I feel that because your relationships are being stripped away, that is fate. When those relationships are being pulled from you, that is God intervening, trying to align you to what is divinely yours. That presence of wholeness, that presence of completeness. And you have to allow that to be what it is. Next, we have Soul Journey. And this is about recognizing that life is about the journey and the experiences that you have in your journey. It's not about the destination. That is so important because I feel we live in a world here, PileTwo, where we are so caught up in social media. We're so caught up on who's the big dog or who's the big queen or, oh my gosh, let's follow this trend. That's not what life is about. Life is about the experiences that we have in our everyday life, in our everyday journey. It's not about wanting to get to the top before someone else. It's about what happens on our way to the top. And it's about exploring the depths of the infinite possibilities that occur on our way to the top. And what we learn from those experiences brings us towards divine truth. It brings us towards freedom. It's about understanding that we all hold a sword of truth. And that sword of truth represents us. It represents and it shows us exactly what we need to cut out of our life and what we need to allow into our life. Divine truth says your sword of light represents your truth. Use it wisely, because remember, our sword of truth is double-edged. And it is entirely up to us when we connect to our fate and our destiny, when we connect to our divine self, we know exactly what is meant for us. It will never, ever supersede us. It will always be there in divine timing. Next, we have, I connect with heaven. It says, today, I turn inwards and connect with the heaven within. From this place of peace, I can see that a situation I have resented is actually an ideal opportunity to work on my inner self. I understand that such experiences are necessary for my growth. Thus, I accept such situations and now live each day in serenity. This is beautiful. Because what this is saying is that it's wanting you to understand and remember that that which is being stripped away from you is meant to be stripped away. It is a part of your fate. It is a part of your destiny. It is a part of your divine truth. And it's time for you to truly see your divine truth, to align with that divine truth so that you can have the freedom that you desire. So your activation card today is the Soul Star activation, which is about fulfilling your soul contracts and remembering who you are. This is beautiful because I feel that a lot of times when relationships get stripped away from us, we tend to really feel, we tend to take it personal. We tend to feel like we've done something wrong. We feel like we're inadequate, that we're not, whole or complete, or that there's something wrong. And the whole reason why these relationships are being stripped from you here, PileTwo, is because you're needing to see yourself in a different light. So let's read what it says for Soul Star activation. The Soul Star chakra is the energy center that is found around 6 to 12 inches above the crown and connects us directly with soul wisdom. It is our gateway to the etheric realms, which holds all of the lessons of all of the incarnations that we have experienced. Through our Soul Star, we access information and wisdom like a computer, connecting to the internet through broadband. Instead of having to move through the dimensions to access the information, we can remain connected at all times and download support as necessary. The Egyptian god Horus appears on this card as our spiritual guide. His hawk-headed image is said to illustrate his connection to the sun, moon, and stars. As a keeper of energetic portals to hidden realms, he can help us remember our starry origins, open psychic vision, and connect directly with the wisdom that is held in the stars. Here is your message on Soul Star activation. Through your previous journeys, you have learned much about the inner workings of your soul and about the cycles of karma. Before this incarnation, you set a powerful intention to remember your divine origins. At this point, you are in a powerful space for you are remembering who you truly are, and you know that you have it within you to make a great difference in your own life, the lives of those you love, and of course, the world. This remembering is in alignment with the soul contracts you made before coming to this realm. If you find yourself worrying if you are making the right decisions, know that even if you aren't conscious of it, all that you have chosen so far is in accordance with your soul's evolutionary plan. And when you draw this gateway, you are opening up on higher levels. PileTwo, this is an absolutely beautiful, brilliant message for you this month. It's wanting you to remember exactly who you are, to not take personally, to not feel as if you've done something wrong, as if you've made a mistake. Allow the changes that need to occur in your life. Allow these relationships to be stripped. Allow yourself to be reborn into a new life, because that is aligning you with exactly who you are. Thank you so much for being here, PileTwo, and we will see you next time with your new message. Bye, guys. Hi, PileThree. You have chosen this beautiful labradorite crystal mandala with the angel Ahil with your message of individuality. So we are going to begin by reading from the book on your message of individuality. We bring you the gift of individuality. As you receive our gift, you will feel safe enough to enjoy the aspects of yourself that truly make you unique. From particular interest to your way of expressing yourself, to what excites and inspires your spirit, your individuality is the key the divine wishes to manifest itself through you this lifetime. The key to your divine life purpose is to know who you are and to love and accept that self so that you allow natural development and expression in the world to take place. As you accept your individuality, you will understand how natural it is for you to fulfill your life purpose and divine destiny. You will instinctively gravitate towards people, places, and energies that support you in being your bright, true spirit. You'll grow and express yourself more freely and authentically, and the divine light within shall shine brighter without a veil of fear, confusion, or shame occurring it. Or shame obscuring it, You have no need to compare yourself to any other. You are a unique child of the universe with your own special path and destiny to fulfill. PileThree, this is a beautiful message. I want you to know that there are many ways to live your life in service to love, to light, and power, as there are stars in the sky, maybe even more. What matters more than whether another understands your lifestyle and choices is whether the choices you make reflect your own personal values. So this brings up a huge message here, PileThree. Its message is that you are meant to stand out. You are meant to not conform to the masses. You are meant to be individual, unique, expressive, all on your own. And it's important that you value that you appreciate that, and that you honor it. The first task you'll have on your path of discovering and honoring your individuality is to ask yourself this one question: what has meaning for me? If you don't take time to question and reflect upon what really means something to you, you'll simply be moved according to the value others impose upon you. I'm going to read that one more time. If you don't take time to question and reflect what really means something to you, You'll simply be moved according to the values others impose upon you. The values of others and what those others impose on you might not mean anything to you at a deeper level. Yet you may be too afraid to step outside of what others say is safe or true. And this is huge. And this is so important right now here, PileThree, because we have literally entered a space in our collective consciousness where there is so much going around that is being said that the mass consciousness is gravitating towards a certain stream of consciousness. And this is the reason why it's so important for you to really ask yourself, does this have value? Does this have meaning to me? Because you're meant to align to your truth. And I just want to point out here, PileThree, that a while back, sometime last year, Archangel Metatron came through with a channeled message on the streams of consciousness and how it's so important for you to find the frequency or the stream that aligns with your values, with your beliefs. Because it's important to note that there are multiple streams of consciousness right now. And if you are one that really listens to the news or you watch a lot of social media, what you gravitate towards is what is ultimately sort of manipulating you, right? You are aligning to that frequency. So it's important for you to recognize your frequency, to recognize what's important and what's valuable to you, because that is what you should be aligning to. This is why your message is on individuality. Without pausing to reflect upon your own personal values, you will miss an opportunity to get to know who you are and what you stand for, to discover your individuality. When you do not know who you are, you will not be able to love and appreciate your divine beauty, nor understand what drives you and be able to commit unconditionally to your life purpose and divine destiny. Without unconditional commitment, you'll give up when things get difficult, even when you are strong enough to keep going. You'll place restrictions upon how the universe can conspire to create your destiny in the best possible way by doubting when the timing or circumstances don't match your expectations. You'll not know what matters to you, and so you will more easily become overwhelmed by distraction. And in that overwhelm, confusion and self-doubt will undermine your progress. I think this is huge, PileThree, because it's saying that what you need to do is you will need to use the courage within your heart to set priorities that match your inner values and act upon them. It takes courage to live a life, especially in today's world, that aligns with your true self in all ways. So that means that you're going to have to make choices that honor what you value more than what you might have been taught to fear. And I think that right now we are living in a world here, PileThree, where we are being indoctrinated with so much fear, so much uncertainty, so much doubt, that I feel that if you're wanting to live the life that you want to live, you're needing to honor yourself and you're needing to separate yourself from the masses. So let's move a little bit more deeper. Round and round, along with observer. Okay, this is a big one because I feel like a lot of times when we are too afraid to stand out, when we're too afraid to know who we are, and we're too afraid to allow ourselves to be who we are, we end up going through these infinite cycles of repeating things over and over and over and over again. And the round and round is all about understanding that when things come around, you're meant to learn them, understand them, acknowledge them in the moment. So the true meaning of round and round is that the spiral quality of events when a lesson isn't quite integrated, cycles you are challenged to break, and a revisiting pattern that forms a new perspective. So what patterns, what cycles, what experiences are you currently having that you feel that you are repeating? What is it that you're needing to revisit? What patterns are you needing to break? The appearance of the round and round card is a reminder that although it may appear that you're going backwards, okay, the truth is that you're standing at a much higher level, looking down into your circumstances. It's interesting because this card really talks about learning to see things from a higher point of view, to see things from a bird's eye view, right? Look what we have here, observer. And the observer is all about allowing ourselves to be detached from what is currently going on and just see things so that we can truly understand them, so that we can truly acknowledge them in all aspects. And I feel that that's ultimately what's needing to happen here. You're needing to observe what's currently going on in your everyday. And you're needing to recognize, what are you needing to let go of? What patterns are you needing to break so that you can be more in alignment with who you are, so that you could truly allow your own inner light to shine through. You're needing to observe what everyone else is doing and what everyone else is experiencing, and you do the opposite. Because this is about you aligning to your individuality. You're not meant to be the follower. You are meant to be the leader here, PileThree. Next, we have pyrite. And I love this because pyrite is often known as, I think it's fool's gold. I think that's what it's known as. But let's dig a little bit deeper on the true meaning here of pyrite and what it means for you in this particular message. So pyrite is, its message is inherent value. It's about knowing your worth. It's about self-appreciation and genuine abundance and prosperity within. And I love this because what this is truly wanting you to recognize is that you, my friend, in PileThree here, you're needing to see your worth. And you're needing to live that worth. That's the whole point of individuality. It's about you understanding how valuable you are. Your thoughts, your actions, your feelings, all of them have value. And as you push that out into the world, you are meant to be that authentic, be that individual, be that raw. And then you charge tax. With the pyrite here, it's wanting you to know that pyrite is one of those stones that humans have sought after for a long time because it's so beautiful. It looks like gold, and it just catches the eye in a specific way, right? That's you. When you allow yourself to be who you authentically are, you catch people's eye, and people then become so enamored by you that they want to be a part of you. They want to listen to what you have to say. And just like people see the value in pyrite, they see the value in you. And this is what you're needing to observe. This is what you're needing to understand. This is what you're needing to embrace. So let's look at your tarot cards here. We have the Knight. Let me make sure. Yes, we have the Knight of Pentacles with the Seven of Cups. Okay. The heart of your reading here is the Chariot card with the Eight of Swords and the Four of Swords. This is interesting. Okay. Here is what I have for you. At the heart of your reading here, pile 3, the Chariot is all about movement. And I feel that you need to move towards accepting and honoring your individuality. The Chariot is also about understanding that with this movement, there is higher purpose. There is higher meaning to it. And it's about your will and your desire that ultimately drives you into becoming who you are. I feel that in order for you to truly break free from the bondages and the restrictions that you have to sort of understand what being free really is, right? I feel that when you conform to the masses, it keeps you in fear. It keeps you in the darkness. It shadows you into believing that you don't have a say-so, that you can't get out of the situations that you are in. And that is not the truth. When you align to your divine essence, when you align to your inner divinity and you align yourself with your individuality, you are given multiple opportunities. You are given choices on what you're going to do so that you could see your greatest potential. Does it take commitment? Absolutely. You are going to have to be consistent, and you have to be the one to take those steps. You have to be loyal and honest with yourself. Loyalty and honesty and devotion to self leads you towards picking and choosing what energy you're going to focus upon and what you're going to give out into this world. Because once you hit that individuality, you're going to be able to see all of the fake. You're going to be able to see all of the flaws. You'll be able to really see all of the illusions, all of the things that are going on behind the scenes that other people are just completely blind to because they refuse to see the truth. And all of that doubt and all of that uncertainty is going to just simply wash away. And when it does, it's going to allow you to be able to take a step back and to dream your ultimate dreams and be able to have the ultimate freedoms that you want and align to your desires. So where do we go from here? We have the Star Daughters with dance. And it says, I dance and sing and play with my sisters at sunset. So this card right here is about the 7 sisters. And I want you to know that a lot of times many of us don't allow our true identity or our true individuality to come through because we're so afraid of what other people are going to say about us. But what your guides, what your message here is this month, pile 3, is that you need to allow yourself to dance and sing and play and be yourself with others who are themselves, because that is your tribe. That is who you are. That is what you are meant to do. You are meant to showcase and shine your light for others to see. And next we have the Visionary, which is awake. And it says, with an intuitive perspective, I see the bigger picture. Your whole message, pile 3, is all about seeing the bigger picture. It's about understanding that when you align yourself to your individuality, you become the creator, you become the visionary, and you are able to envision your life, your desires, and everything around you the way that you ultimately want them to be. Because you see the bigger picture. You're not focusing all of your attention and your desires on that small little bit that the mass collective wants you to see. They want you to focus on the fear, on the disillusionment, on the, that we are detached, that we are all experiencing the same thing, when in reality, we're not. Because you see the bigger picture. Next, we have underwater realm. Okay, this one's interesting because underwater realm really speaks about going deep. And I feel that this deepness is really about what is often hidden in the shadows in our emotions. And we have to overcome that. We have to really explore that. And then you have descend. And this truly means that in order for you to see the bigger picture, you have to be willing to dig deep. You have to be willing to explore down in the depths of yourself and break apart all of the illusions that you have about yourself and your beliefs and your patterns. And you have to break all of those apart in order to truly see the bigger picture, in order to truly break free from the disillusionment that surrounds you in the mass collective. And next we have, which I'm ultimately excited about, is my own personal deck, The Essence of Divinity. Your first card is hope, and it says, have faith that everything will work out in the end. And I feel this is important because I feel a lot of times when we are not connected to ourselves, when we don't know who we are, we feel lost, we feel hopeless. And what we need oftentimes is this sense of hope that reminds us that no matter how bleak something might appear right now, that isn't necessarily how it truly is. We have to remember that a lot of times the hopelessness that we feel is in our mind. And our mind is so clouded with the mass collective, the mass collective, that we have to break free from that in order to truly see what is. And that's part of seeing the bigger picture. Next, you have the High Priestess here with step into the unknown and connect with spirit. So the High Priestess here truly represents you connecting to your individuality, you connecting to your higher self, you stepping behind the scenes and allowing yourself to be immersed in spirit. Because spirit is the bigger picture. Last but not least, we have divine love. Now, this is important because divine love is about the connection that we have with other individuals. It's about unconditional love, and it's about soulmates. It's about understanding the soul contracts that we make to come into this life and experience the things that we experience and also learn from those experiences. It's about being able to see people through the eyes of love and still be unconditional towards them, in loving them and being compassionate towards them, no matter what you are experiencing. And this is very true with the mass collective. That even though you are separating yourself and you are aligning to your individuality, it does not mean that you are not a part of them. They are still very much a part of you as you are a part of them. But by being the leader, by showcasing your individuality, it gives them hope to be able to dive deep within themselves and to connect to their own individuality. Next, we have step by step here, PileThree. And it says, today, I practice patience. I allow time to fulfill my goals. I understand the wisdom in letting go of control. I know that the true value of each situation lies in its creation rather than in its end result. Therefore, I allow my life to unfold step by step, inhabiting each moment to the fullest, knowing that my soul is forever rising higher and higher to embrace the light. I feel that the only way that you can truly align to your individuality here, PileThree, is step by step. It means that you have to be patient with yourself. You have to remember that it takes time, it takes loyalty, and it takes consistent effort towards working on yourself every single day and aligning to the bigger picture. Your activation code today is sacred inner space with the sacral chakra, tenderness, and sensuality. Let's go ahead and read what it says in the book, because I feel this is where you're going to get the most detailed information. Sacred inner space says, the sacral chakra is found below the belly button and is the energetic space that governs our reproductive system and all forms of expression connected to it. Everything from our sexuality to our capacity to express the tender, more sacred parts of ourselves is connected to this chakra. It is governed by water, and so it helps us move with the flow of life in order to express our most authentic self. This card transports us to this sacred inner space. It shows an inner temple with flowing water and lots of soft colors coming from a blooming lotus. This encourages us to see that our sacred parts are beautiful, energetic gateways through which we can express and manifest pure life force. You are being guided to the gateway of your sacred self. This is an opportunity to recognize that the more tender and vulnerable aspects of your being holds keys to great power. Honor the sacred within. Reclaim any parts of yourself that you have disconnected from or abandoned. If you want to experience more love and belonging, look within. There is a huge lesson in finding love within yourself. Realize that false narratives have been floating around your energetic field, stories that have discouraged you from expressing yourself. You may even have been lied to and told you aren't beautiful. This card is here to remind you that you are beautiful, and more importantly, you can create beauty in the world. Recognize that you hold the power of the universe within, and then you'll find your flow. And PileThree, your flow is the flow of individuality. I want to thank you so much for being here today, and I look forward to seeing you next time with your new message. Bye, guys.